Alright guys, Yuri here. Okay, so you'll notice behind me there's a nice little steady incline. It's nothing too crazy, you know, maybe about 15 to 20% grade. I don't know if the video shot really makes it or gives it credit. Anyways, what you can see is above this little hill, there's another little hill. And what I'm going to be doing is a little bit of hill running. So as you can tell, I'm a little bit out of breath. Just on my warm-up, I've literally run from my house to this spot. This is where I run some of my hills. It's actually on the way to the gym, so I'm going to do little hill action, head to the gym. Usually it's not a great way of doing things. If you want to do a strength training workout, you should do it before your runs. But sometimes I just rather run to the gym. So anyways, I'm not going to take you with me on the run because it's getting a little bit bumpy. But I want to talk a little bit about hill training. So I'm going to run this hill, and we'll see how long it takes me. It might be about 30 to 40 seconds, depending on how fast I go. When I get to the top, I'll come back on and we'll talk a little bit about hill training, what to do, what not to do, and some other really cool tips, okay? So stay with me for just a second. Here we go. All right, we're still running here. Here we go, the hill continues. Another 400 meters or so. I'll be back on in a second. Okay, we've reached the top of the hill. As you can see, if you look down the street, you'll see the water, and that is the lake very close to where I live. So it's a nice steady incline from where we started. So I'm gonna just walk here, we're gonna talk as we go. And I apologize if you can't see me properly because I'm on a flip cam and I can't really tell where it's facing. So I'm hoping I'm getting myself in the shot. So we're gonna talk a little bit about interval hill training, and first thing, it's got to make sure you got some awesome music. Now if you're not using any of the treadmill trainer runs, it's fine, I won't hold it against you, although you should be. But I've got on my headphones here some nice drum and bass. I'm a big drum and bass fan, some good bumping tunes, but you can listen to whatever you want, right? Having that extra little kind of pump and kick to get you up those hills. Okay, so the second thing, probably the most important thing with hill running, is you want to make sure that you're landing on the balls of your feet. And the reason for this is because as the incline gets steeper, it's almost physiologically or physically impossible to land on your heels the steeper the hill becomes. So no matter how steep or how shallow, if you want to call it that, the grade is, you want to make sure you're always landing on the balls of your feet and almost think of yourself as sprinting. Okay, that's the type of form you want to be using as you're running these hills. And the benefit of that is that you actually train your body to run with better form, which means landing on the balls of your feet, driving your knees, driving your arms, right? Very similar to a sprinting motion. And whether you're a runner, recreational exerciser, athlete, anywhere, you know, in any of those groups, to become a more proficient runner is about improving your running economy. And it starts with landing mechanics. So landing on the balls of your feet is really important. And especially when you're going back to a level surface, you may have heard of forefoot running, right? That's all about landing on the balls of your feet as opposed to a heel strike. So I'll just show you the difference here very quickly. If I'm looking at my feet here, landing like this would be a heel strike, whereas landing on the ball of my foot would be a forefoot strike. Okay, the difference is that you're putting more of your body weight over the ball of your foot, which is good for injury prevention and propulsion, okay? So that's the second most important thing when it comes to hill training. Another really important thing to consider is that, as you notice behind me, right, or as I was running the hill, I came to a peak at one point, right? So the hill stops, and in order to repeat that, I need to go back down the hill and go back up. So the up of the hill is not the problem. That's where you really generate a lot of power in the backside of your body. What the issue is on the way down, right? So if you're spending a lot of time running downhill, it's gonna put a lot of eccentric load on your tendons through your lower body. And that's where we start getting into injuries like patellofemoral syndrome and all sorts of other tendinopathy, tendinitis type of issues, okay? So just be careful on the downhill runs, or maybe even better off walking downhill sometimes, because it does impose less stress. Now the final thing I want to mention as we pass the curling club here is as I just mentioned, one of the reasons that I don't like necessarily running hills outdoors all the time is because I have to go back down. Now the beautiful thing about using a treadmill is that you can constantly go up, right? You can just put the incline at whatever you want and you continually go at that incline indefinitely. And that has a lot of benefits in terms of allowing you to really push your body through an incline without having to come down. So that's why I've put together the various hill running workouts that we have that make up part of the Treadmill Trainer series. We've got the hill tracker. Sorry if it's a little loud here, cars are driving by. We've got the hill tracker, which is for beginners. It's a walking incline workout. We have a newer edition called the TT Rolling Hill Sprintervals. Sprintervals is a term that I've coined, which basically incorporates sprints, intervals up a hill. And we also have our famous Hill Runner 1 and Hill Runner 2 workouts. These are all specifically designed for the treadmill, and they will provide incredible benefits, even better benefits than what you would get outdoors running up.